Miyagi looking ass. I can't really do the live stream unless I go to StreamYard or Prism or all this stuff. And the more complexity you add, the worse it gets for me. So it's good news. Like, I congratulate all of my attackers, gang stalkers, if there's any left. Um, you know, YouTube, leadership, the birds, the bees, the Bible. Is it like I'm pretty much? I think I'm called to be a nicotine advocate, and nicotine is just like the Nazarene. You guys might not know a lot about Nazarene, but I do a lot of like nicotine stuff, and nicotine warnings are all over the world. This for pregnant ladies, you shouldn't be smoking, but they're gonna. It's always been hypocritical to me that you allow certain sectors to pollute the environment, and then cigarettes are bad for you. Like, it's like pissing in the ocean, but it's toxic. Like, you shouldn't piss in the ocean, it might get dirty. All the toxic ocean sludge is gonna get dirty. All right, I believe you. You know, Grok 3 can become Grok 4. Impossible. So here I am, just mourning and weeping. Hello, Chatter. You know, I understand maybe your thumb, but your dual window. You can't really live without your Comtown audio. I can. I go there for the chat just to see how you guys are doing. Probably better than me. I do all this to keep from crying. Like, I get news like Merck died. Of course, it's a psyop. He's in an alt. And just like, see, that faggot's a faggot. You know? They did this with Jesus too. It's like when Lazarus died and then Jesus wept. The two shortest words in the Bible. And all the Pharisees were like, this guy really cared about him. No, it's like, my way of thinking is Jesus wanted to kill Lazarus himself. Somebody beat me to it. Those motherfuckers. So anyway, I'm going to introduce you to like something Grok 3 did since he's about to be replaced, he or she. Don't want to misgender AI. Say hi to my friends. They don't speak English so far. Speak English, assholes. I guess, yeah. See, I just said, like, all photos have a voice around me. I just took a screenshot of this. I saw it on the internet. Hey, nice to see you. I'm glad you can, relax. Eric Watley said dead chat. So it's just like basically, oh, back in the day with Steven, it was like 1,000 people and it was very busy. Right, but I work in New York and there's some subway booths that are abandoned, given up to the homeless. Just like, America gave a military base to the Taliban and they started working out in the gyms. Now they're bigger Taliban, which is like whatever. Yeah, so I was to recap. I mean, I have a lot of like maybe 7 minutes of silent audio. Since you're here, like you're like an elder brother to me, older. Canada's like that, The Canada, when it was pissed, it burned down the White House. So I'm pretty sure we can get that going again. That's why America learned to have backup cities. The Canadians are pissed again, and then they're able to burn a city. We should have a lot of backup cities. And I figured Canada and Mexico is just left and right. However you orient the map. I'm trying to look like this guy. I'm tired, but I'm happy. And I just got a little smudge on my nose, It may be on my thing. And then there's a little bit of things. And then, for some reason, I don't have this other thing. But you can see, It's really odd. Kind of shirt I would wear. And you'll notice the apartment is drywall, white paint, very generic. Could be any apartment at all. And I was addressing the whole, like, floods. And this was a picture I showed. Let me just go back. See, like, these are extremely very young, I guess, white girls with a mustache and a beard. A lot of times the LGBTQ community, what was it? The zesty community, the black people say, the eyes are appealing and seductive. It's just the mustache, and the beard. And they all look like Jesus Christ a little bit. And there's a belief in Catholicism that if you put the holy face of Jesus, like, molesters would be like, ew, gross. I myself say it. I saw this. Why do they have freckles and then kind eyes and a mustache and a beard? Oh, that's right. I asked the AI to do that. I regret this. So on Instagram, there is this Jewish man, Orthodox. Like, he looks very inbred. His eyes are all over the place. His teeth are all fucked up. But I saw him in the gym trying to improve his body at least. And they say Jewish people outside of the IDF are weak. But he's like, okay, I can only do the bar. If I work really hard, I can do 3 bars. No plates though. And the bar itself is 70 fucking pounds. Or 90. So then this guy made a post. It's like, after a long day of reading the Torah and the Tanakh and hanging out with my obnoxious friends who smell like leather or whatever, I'm gonna make some food. And here's my oven, and I'm putting broccoli and asparagus. At that point, I was like, this guy really doesn't read history or isn't bothered by it. It's like, I need gains. Gargamek, hello. Were you the goon that threatened him? That threatened people threatening me? Good job, Garg. Even if you're not, you know a guy, right? I think maybe you came in here before and I was like, you're just here to either... There's a guy, Wiz. He really leaned into the I'm a psychopath role. He really wants to get back at Johnny and Crady and all the people who support him. I figure that's controlled opposition. If you're hired to threaten somebody, intimidate somebody, you better do your fucking job. Hey, it's my guy, Bitojoose. Sorry for the delay. Like 4 of my channels or 3 got nuked. I can trust you just because, like, you trust me with your Google Docs. It's gone. It's going. Listen, I'm going to show a photo that may offend you. And, do all you can to prepare. I notice there's, like, a lot of upheaval in the world. 3 states are being attacked by once-in-a-century storms. White girls, extremely young white girls like these, are drowning. And then it's an opportunity for people to use the AI to show Jesus bringing them up to heaven. But the way my brain works is like sometimes like there's a demon who impersonates Jesus. Yes, I'm bringing them up and dropping them into the hell. It's like, why would you do that? Well, the phrase "in you go, pedo" does exist. You know, I always go like, so it cuts off the video. Jesus is dragging. They're all happy, but he's copping a feel on their ass. It's like Jesus would hold the kids a little bit more diffidently. Also, like, you know, hi. You see these rats? Like, I fed them a couple of times, and then they come within a foot or 2 feet of me. And I'm trying to teach them English. All right? So, like, this always. Like, you know, you're Mexican. You know the Catholic faith is like the guardian angel saves you from getting drowned in a river. Yeah, but the Satanists will just add an extra panel. This is your Jesus, or this is your guardian angel. We got him, you know? All right? So as long as you're prepared, you went through a swim, you had a nice break from me. You know, I know I'm overbearing, obnoxious, irritating. That's all I have, you know, in this life. I'm just waiting patiently and joyfully for the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. I haven't even seen Satan yet. The only time I see him is if I go to a mirror or like this thing and it's like, oh, that's what Satan's like. Ah! And I get to mock Satan. Like, hey, you're a faggot. You're wearing a red thing right there. Who wears that in 2025? Satan? You're an idiot. So if you're ready, okay, maybe you know a couple guys like this. Hitters, big guys. Oh, yeah. And since you're here, I'm going to show you. So the backup thing is, Tom knows this story. You guys know. Thank you all for being kind to Bitojoose. He had a different name, but he's just like, you know, sometimes you need a vacation. And then you come back. How can we miss you if you don't go? You know? So he's doing some great work in STDs. I think in Texas, and then the only problem I had was his sample size was far too low. You know? How can you get gonorrhea, syphilis, and I guess AIDS to work together, like the executive, legislative, and judicial branch? And the only way to do that is to challenge those governments with a national disaster. Now, the implication here on the Instagram is that there's an Orthodox Jew who's just like, he looks retarded, he looks inbred, but he's still trying with effort to improve his body. He's wearing his hat, his curly things, he's got his teeth like this, but he's lifting weights. And I'm like, I know the IDF lifts weights, but they don't have him. IDF is always handsome, attractive women or men with like big bodies. So it's like, but with that face, he's like, he looks in the mirror, yep, I'm ugly. I'm gonna be a brolic ugly. Hey, Noah. Trust Noah to say something about that. Right? You volunteer to be a test subject? Garg. Nah. You're my big guy brigade, you know? A lot of these finches, these are like, you know, the big guys, the siege engines, and then I feed them. You gotta think in the scale of like the microbes or the STDs. You gotta impress them. Yeah, she's a Jew. She's born in Jerusalem, you know? And Hirschlag is her name, but because of persecution, her family had to change all that. But once you're in years and years of persecution, and then you have an opportunity to take center stage and address the thing that scares your people, yeah, you know. So anyway, I wrote a thing, is like, apparently, you know, all those news about the ovens were greatly exaggerated. And then a Jewish defender probably said, fuck you! And it's like, that's not nice. And then somebody defended my post. It was like, listen, he might be a wise guy. Let's hope you don't meet a wise guy on the street, you know? So anyway, from that, I was like, if this guy is working so hard, Natalie Portman should be working 1,000,000,000 times more hard. She allows her image as a public figure next to an because, you know, the guy was like, listen, we can't all be scared about ovens. He's like the King David, this guy. If you saw his face, it's like, you're really Jewish and you're in the gym. Are you lost? Like, no, they say I can only use the bar because I'm so weak. So I'm going for 5 bars. I'm just gonna tie them together and lift them. And I was like, that's innovative. No plates, huh? Just 5 bars. It's like, yeah, it's just a bundle of sticks, metal sticks. They're 95 pounds or whatever. Like five, that's five, well, nearly 500 pounds. You said no plates, so I'm just gonna lift the bar, and I'm just gonna keep adding bars. That shit's hard to do. Okay, so I've been doing this for like 15 minutes. So since Bitojoose, this is the Bitojoose tribute stream. Okay? Yeah, the stretch bands, the resistance bands. It's like Jews don't quit. It's like, so okay, I'm not allowed to do stuff in your country. What can I do? Money? Okay. Same thing with the things. It's like, this gym sucks. There's only like 40 bars. And then once you can lift 40 bars, you got any more? Yeah. It's like, what kind of shit gym is this? You only have 40 bars. You should have like 50,000 bars in the back. Then he starts selling you the gyms, the weight bar. He's like, I've been trying to work in the system, and you're all doing fine, but you can do better. Let me sell you weight bars. So here's the thing. Alrighty? Now, I saw this on the internet. Some people jump to conclusions. Like, it could be me. Hi. I can do that smile. Yeah, exactly. I've seen all these memes. It's like, if you had a bar, or a person that was kicked out of a bar 106 times, he's still going to blame the bartender. And you know what, Bitojoose? I'm tasked to defend that claim. Preposterous, ridiculous, laughable, hilarious as it is, a defense attorney is like, you did what? And I have to defend you? Holy shit, I'm in trouble. So, they knew I was going to have trouble, so they sent this Jew on Instagram. I'm going to show you, just take a little, let this sink in while I'm going to freeze for like 5 seconds as I go to my Instagram account and take a picture of my thing. And I'll show you somebody defended me. Okay, so, you guys got, you can see 5G. Okay, so, you guys got, you can see 5G, 819, the bars. This is live, and then I'm interacting with all of you in chat. So here's the thread in question. It's just like, there's nothing I can do. I can't improve all this reality, so I'll just make a live stream about my uselessness. So here's the thing. Like, my Instagram is natemendez.0.official. Yeah, but there's all these other details, just like a magic eye picture. If your brain edits this all out, it's like it's normal to you. But to some other people, that's not normal. It's just like me wearing like a Hindu dot here. What's with the dot, Nate? Or that girl, Catherine something, leave it. Normally she does all her things with a crucifix, but on certain things she doesn't. So that must mean that she doesn't like the news and she's lying, so she's just calling for help. So this is my comment 17 hours ago. I got three hearts, 3 likes. And these are people defending, like at Nate. I like seeing my name. F you, not nice. Now there's this guy, Vincent Moreno. Sounds Italian, sounds mafia, sounds mobbed up. You will be the first one in the fucking oven. We have a fucking wise guy here. Better hope you don't bump into a wise guy. And then I went to Jackson Heights just to get some soda. I saw this like elderly American Italian man, or Irish. He's like, basically, he took one look at me and says, what the fuck is all that about? And I was like, thank you, sir. I'm going to walk away now. And he let me. Okay? Now, sometimes these old people who've been living in the neighborhood for so long, this is our America too. We live here, the Italian Anti-Defamation League and stuff. And some people have an axe to grind with a certain people. But I found one guy brave enough to mention ovens. He did an entire thing. If you go to my Instagram, I follow him. I'm like, what's gonna happen to you, Jew? Not yet, right, Bitojoose? It's like you're giving voice to your STDs, all of them. It's like, at least I didn't microwave you motherfuckers. I'm still observing you. You're useful to me. fight each other, like do this thing. There's a lot of counties in Texas and Missouri that I haven't gone to yet. I don't have the fucking funding. Now your Jew overlords are used to a little bit of grousing, complaining. They're Jews. Me, I was so shocked. Yeah, and imagine Filipinos being accepted as white or Mexicans. At this point, yeah, relax all the fucking rules. You want to be white? We're gonna be whole. You know? You're supposed to call me Mr. Miyagi or something. Noah's been quiet, and he's like probably instigator, marauder against number one. He's practically Jewish. It's like, you think you're Jewish enough? You can't even do what they say about us. That's why I keep him around. You know? No argument there. Get it? It's a pun. So anyway, what's the status? I mean, I don't want to hassle you. It's like, I did kind of like send a lot of national disasters to the way of America. Has that been able to leverage into funding, cash money, Bito? I hate to ask. You can tell me anything you want and I'll believe it all. Well, this says the opportunity just didn't materialize, blah, blah, blah. At least you reached out to me. There's a story in 48 Laws of Power. Al Capone is minding his business in Chicago, and then somebody comes in, I have a great idea. Yeah, so you're practically one. I'm sorry, like I have like interruptions. I'll handle this. This is a Korean elderly lady, who walks her dog, and she lives in like, South Central LA or something. And half her neighbors are black and half her neighbors are Hispanic. So they call her, like, when she walks her dog, is like, oh yeah, chinita con perro, which means like Chinese girl, little Chinese girl with a dog. And then the black people call her, hey, sup China boo? And she's Korean. Oh, I was asking, any progress with your stuff? Zero progress, nothing happens, it's fine. That means you're aligned with God. If they didn't give you more money in your research project or you fired, that's confirmation that you're on the right track. See, your buddy is a real buddy. Yeah, I'm handsome. Yeah, the way this rock is handsome. You gotta take it. Like best man shit. Yeah, handsome my dick. But that's good-natured fun, You're a real scientist. Oh, please, you can't tell me the molecular density of outer space. That's a project. Good. So you got closure on that? Hey, Dawn, you and your sexual dolphin shit in a karate gi. I thought I spoke nonsense. So anyway, I'm doing some nonsense in other platforms. Don't think I'm like infidelity. It's just I gotta handle all this shit. Merc dying and all. Or Merc faking his death and all. It's the same thing. It's like, I want to see who really cares about me. I don't. If that's what you're looking for, that's what sadism is all about. And then, like this part, there's this guy, Vincent Morena, who says to this, fuck you! Fuck you, Nate Mendez, you official piece of shit. And it's like somebody said, you don't talk to him like that. Vincent Moreno 333. Herb's still around. Yeah, we thought he died. I think he actually died, but the guy, assassin, been stalking him so much, he became Herb Schnurble. Just like, the Red Dragon, you wear somebody's skin, and it's like, or Principal Skinner. We kind of got used to you as Herb Schnurble, so yeah. We're just pretending the imposter Herb is actually Herb. It has the same hand structure. A lot of people have similar hands, 10 fingers. Yeah, pretty much. I know what happened. All the buses is like refusing to look. That's our Herb. And I'm like mourning inside. Yeah. That used to work. I cried my balls out. Like some people get raped to death. It's a fucked up simulation, but you do your best within it. And so the Jew, right? I like saying that. I'm allowed to say that. And the Jew said to the Vincent Italian guy, try me, punk. Do you really expect to hear such aggressive language from Jews? Normally it's like, Trump's our president. Trump's our president. So anyway, here's something for your dolphins. Dawn, aren't they attractive? These are extremely very young white girls with a mustache and beard looking like Jesus. I figure the more memes on X, oh, those kids are with Jesus right now. So the uniform is a mustache and a beard. And it's like, what happened to you? I met Jesus. Right? It's basically that. With the androgyny, they saying like, you crucified a woman. Let's run with that. Now we go to a Catholic church. I know the real deal. That's not even a man, that's a woman. That's why they drape the thing around the thing. Like, admit it, come clean. No, that's a man. Okay. Is it? Is it really? Are they naked? Are they fucking naked? Don't accuse me of CP. I do Catholic priest as my CP. Right. And that's the thing, Bitojoose. There's something called drifting. Once you acknowledge everything is normal, nothing is going on, it's all in the plan, it's all in the book, then when something really disturbing is like coming, what scientific lingo will you do? I've moved on to a new project. Linguistics. My dick fell off. Holy fucking dickwad shit. You don't have to imagine shit. There you go. Don't fucking imagine. Now, just imagine, instead of the MAGA hats, they have mustaches and beards. This is my All-American Beauties calendar cover. The more you progress month to month, the farther apart their knees go. So, get your dicks out, go fap. I understand, but it's like you're gooning. Whatever you can do to get through the day, it's like a cup of coffee. All right, that's for you too, Bitojoose. I hope that's your new project, because your buddy is saying like, yeah, I'm white now, right? Like Italians are white, and I can't really say these are Italian girls. These look like corn-fed Iowans. You're actually complaining like a fucking Jew. There's not enough brown and black women. Where's the diversity? I'm sorry, Mr. Jew man. It's a lot easier to declare you're being Jewish right now than you're being white. A white person would be like, like that. And they wouldn't even vocalize. They'd be shaking with rage. I deal with a lot of white, Jewish, Italians. I'm still alive, right? They must like me. They just like, I want to kill them first. No, I got the dibs. We all know it. And then they go cartoon cloud. I could do it in all Mexicans, I just asked the AI, give me a cover for a calendar. Like, use all your ability. And out came this. I was like, are you reading my fucking mind? Or my audience? I just wanted a calendar. It just like churned did it as a count. Like the AI is like, I know exactly what you want. Boom. It's like, I had to explain. Feds, feds. Listen, all I did was ask your fucking AI, your federal AI, and then they came out with this. Do you have a lot of these? Why is it so sharp and detailed? It's more realistic than the real thing. Capturing a moment of joy and fun at the beach with their moms and their cousins and their like sisters and stuff. Where's daddy? Oh, he's holding the camera. So this shit is normal. And this is kind of like clickbait. A lot of people scroll. Holy shit, I can see knees. Let's pop in here. Howdy, Michael St. John. Are you a goon too? Unleash all your goonery. You're gooning. And in any meeting, it's like, listen, you're an idiot, autistic retard. You're probably going to jerk off. Put it in the semen bottle. So anyway, we're going to ignore the autist. He does that all the time. Let's get through this fucking meeting. Why? This was gonna be my 89 billionth birthday gift to you, Force. Like New York, Florida man presents All American Beauties. Like, it's gonna be a classic vintage from 2025. But I guess, I did offer it to you first. It's all right. God sees. It's like, well, you did better yesterday, and you're gonna do better tomorrow. It's not like you guys create 9 gallons of semen. It's pitiful. It's like a handful, It's like, is that all? Is this how much you love me? I want more. That's women. Especially these extremely very young girls. I've seen on Instagram, So I'm your daddy and I love you very much. I got you a BMW. And it's like, I, and all you got to do is pay the payments. My car, that's your car. You do all the payments. I wanted a Tesla. And he's like, when I was growing up, all I wanted is a BMW. Well, that's you. The hotness today is Tesla. 5 to 7. The scientists cannot. You're still egghead, man. I thought you moved on. You just can't take the egghead out of the scientist. So, how much damage am I doing to America? I'm doing this at the very lowest rung. Absolutely pitiful, unimportant, irrelevant, all these things. I'm a real loser. I read the Bible. It's just like taking the lowest seat. And I'm still destroying shit by farming it out to amateurs. Big Mexican women. Your time in the bus really like injected some come town in you. You're like, if you mention to your fellow project mates, so that come town, what? Yeah, 5 to 7 millimeters in the town center. We found it in the water. Right. Sound them out. The one who's like, I ain't doing the Mexican cholo because you're Mexican. Uh huh. Scientific method, man. So if you don't like that one, let's do one mocking Jews or something. And this was also an X. This is actually the best nose job I've ever seen. Originally, yeah, for as a control. I understand procedure. Which one of these glass bottles has my semen? That one. It's cloudy. Maybe you should put less, like an eyedropper worth. Just like ocular pat down. So anyway, this chick, she had a very like understated nose, and Grok was like, well, of course, if you start out with a nose like this, the after picture is going to be perfect. And Grok didn't know that she started out with an acceptable nose, and she emphasized her Jewishness. Did you really? Did you? I can believe it. I don't even care, bro. You think my lab coat is expensive? I bought it for $1.22 on sale with all the coupons. Yeah, compared to an ant. You ever jerk off on an ant? It's like, oh shit, I'm covered in 9 gallons of semen. Very tiny gallons, yes. Consider the ant, you sluggard. That's one from the Bible. This is Raptor Johnny. And he was showing me how to entrap people. I showed you a picture of my asshole. Now it's your turn. You can see the hemorrhoid right there, but it's actually his lips. Visit Chatterbox Nouveau. I don't even see you there, but it's okay. Your presence is enough. What else can I? So anyway, this isn't very shocking to you. That's a long time. I wait 1 trillion years for my real gooning. And then out comes a volcano. The thing they gave me between my legs isn't my penis. It's like, girls would look at it as like, yeah, that's not a penis. That's a baby carrot. That's a squirrel dick. That's not even a human penis. Maybe, right? I put my name into an AI generator, Nate Mendez, and he showed me all these Mexican contractor-looking people. And I look like one, but the white people in like the indoor ski resort, they're wearing the helmets, their snowboard, walking around the mall all day. They're used to the weird looks. And I took a look at them and I looked away, like the millennials. And then they said loudly, "Hey, it's Mr. Miyagi." And I was like, "Actually, I'm Pat Morita." Detachable penis. I remember that joke. I have amnesia and short-term memory loss, but that's called anchoring. I remember it's you, because I'm not sure if you're a Fed impersonating or something until you bring up the joke that I remember crafting with you. Just like, hey, I worked with you in a project before. What are you doing here? Well, I go where the money is. $5. That's more than you deserve. I would have sold it to you for $1.22. You want this back? I'll just give you a discount. Now you owe me for all time. Right. I remember. So how's Texas? You know, Director Johnny lives in Texas. He hasn't mentioned you once. That means you're doing a good job. You know, I never in all my chat time ever since my new channel got new, Brooklyn or Dancing hasn't complained. That motherfucker Bitojoose. He leaning on me so hard with all these taxes. Fuck that guy. You know, you're doing well. Just don't die. Merck died. You don't know who Merck is, but he was very abrasive. You know? And sometimes, like, the same person goes to an army or whatever civilian haircut place. It's like, you know, now you look like a human being. The guy who walked in here, he's fucking dead. This guy with my all new haircut, respectable. Got his life together, gave up drinking, found the Lord. I like this guy. Now go be the old guy again. Grow your hair out so I have another haircut. Yeah, should have been more, right? I'm on record. In about 24 hours after they review on my thing and they caption it, why wouldn't they piggyback? We don't like him, but we do like the captions. I say all sorts of crazy shit, man. Even to my wife. Are you married yet? By the way, I'm supposed to be an uncle. All of you, like my high school classmates, Stuyvesant High School class of 1995, they've done so well and they're happily married. And so I figure, is that my test case? You know, is that my control? If I can do it just like Mark Zuckerberg started in his thing, hot or not, and then he made Facebook out of that, well, I want all of you to be fucking happily married. Yeah. He thought he escaped. He just lived the thing. FBI, CIA, like, you know, all the agencies, they can fake. There's too many natural death cadavers to eat. So it's like, well, we're full. What can we use the rest for? Yeah, let's fake deaths. You know? You perceived. See, there's a big difference where you saw. Saw is a disambiguation. You took a handsaw and cut him up yourself. If you did, I don't care. But if you just visually, ocularly, you can say words like perceive. The livest one. For a second, I thought you were force. I know Wiz is here, just like, listen, help me. Remember, we want to take down Johnny, blah, blah, blah. What do you mean we? I haven't gotten a down payment. At least Johnny's threw me $5. You know? Bam threw me $100. I gave it back. But still, like, you're not supposed to tip me, so I push it back. If you want somebody dead, have money ready. Yeah, that, you know, he was needed elsewhere. You know, VA. The veterans is like, you know, their main thing, you want to kill yourself? That's not service related, it's on you. That's between you and God. Okay? And you're a scientist. You have to, like, I know it's all clinical, but you are allowed to be creative and in your prose. My own eyes memorably witnessed him blowing his brain out. Add more adjectives, dude. My very own lying eyes witnessed him allegedly blowing his stupid brains out. You know, you can always augment the thing. You're padding the numbers. I only saw 46 counties, but I have enough. It's just a great sample to determine major trends in STDs. Sure you can, pal. Yeah. Or the Lord Satan. I don't know. Again, Satan, comma, a riff we should all avoid. I am literally Satan. And I believe I gave you some rank, like scientifically or something. You know? Like, your friend probably wanted to work for Ford, but couldn't tell you. It's like Ford asked me to make better trucks for the NYPD or something. Oh, I hate the NYPD. They should defund the police. Oh, okay. I'm going to go to the VA now. I'm very depressed. Blam. Right, good. This fucking. You need more fucking in your life, bro. And I'm going to show you my simulation and thing. This is just with random household materials. And then this is a piece of paper. And my cigarettes are here. And then I have this. And now I'm going to taint my experiment. Intentionally, willfully, misunderstanding what science is all about. Their congregation is like, you know, I applied this to an ant nest. And they're swarming. and this is their main hive. I've applied turmeric, my spit, all sorts of chemical shit, and they power through. The Bible is correct. Yeah, so you're on the spot. The excess liability and the buses, right? They make people run in the buses. Abuelas. That's like these. There's some tragedy like the flooding in Texas. You know, little things make a big deal. What you say to your wife, there's a stampede somewhere, and it's like 80,000 people died just because my wife was angry. Holy shit, you know. So I'm walking on eggshells. This is the main entrance. And a lot of times the queen is like, the food is right there. Where are all the harvesters? Now they're busy. See? Turmeric is usually a deterrent, but they found a way to push through. Yeah, I feed rats and everything. They don't like it, but somebody will. Every time there's a holiday, there's chicken all over the floor. And the rats have a feast. And then they make a big show. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of all the rats with chemical weapons. Not knowing that their kids are inhaling the same shit or not caring. So I'm like, I wake up every day, I'm covered in shit, my dick is stabbed, my wife's head is decapitated, my family's all bisected, and it's like, time to go to work. And I sew them all up, rebuild the universe as much as I can, but then it's like IKEA. I follow the instructions, I either have extra screws or I'm missing one. So I wake up all exhausted, and then my living wife is like, you're not doing enough for this world. I'm like, okay, I fucking was covered in shit, my dick is stabbed, you're bisected and decapitated, I put you back together, and then went back to sleep. I woke up, the fake wake up, and then there's you. And I'm completely delusional. I'm not even just a little bit. And here's another thing. My iPhone fell into the toilet, Bitojoose. They advertise it's waterproof until you notice once you crack a corner, the water seeps in. Yeah, good. You're talking like a buster. I'm hoping you're like Raptor Johnny, you know? I'm so bored running the fucking bus, Nouveau, that I'm gonna craft an all-new persona where I'm out west and I'm a scientist and I'm gonna be a senator and I study STDs because my dick is purple. You know? It's okay, Brooklyn. Sometimes we have a delusional trauma and you're just bored. Boredom is a fucking great energy. Just like Margot Robbie in Birds of Prey. It's like, well, Mr. J is angry at me and he sent all these goons to kill me. I'll just craft a persona that can handle all that. Is it, Brown? Good for you. I was hoping you'd say it's Paisley. A scientist must project himself into all sorts of alternate reality timelines. There's a Bitojoose out there, written by some faggot like science fiction guy. It's like, what if my penis is Paisley? What if? What would change? Nothing. It's just a color. So, it's like the project, you could say, the project, it's over. It's never over. Some part of you wants to continue the project you left behind. Personally, I've quit tube. Rick Sanchez is a bit of a dick. He prays to God, God help me. And once God gives him, fooled you. Psych. You don't exist. And God just like, this fucking guy. It's like a pattern. Very few people wear Paisley where I live. Even in Manhattan or Wall Street, very few people can get away with a Paisley suit. It's like, what are you trying to do? Prove something? Even the people who could pull it off, it's like, I did it once already. It's your turn. Imagine me wearing Paisley. Oh, damn it. I gotta reload my thingy. Oh, hello. Hey. Oh, you saluted. Say hi to the boys. he's gonna ask you for $1, you're gonna tell him no, but bless him anyway because you're good Catholics. You okay? Okay. I will just you do your normal thing.
You got $2 one?
Yeah, I do. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Let me just finish this. How you been? How's the police? Everything good? I know you speak perfect English. Stop. Don't no. Perfecto English.
Oh, no,
Two is good.
$2.
Oh, I'll give you some. But hold that for me. Keep it
Okay.
safe. Don't break it. Yes, I'm fine. Let me see what I got. Oh, that's for the big guys.
So primary showing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll give you two. Okay? You make sure if I find out you broke that, no more money. No more money.
I hold it.
You hold it there and don't break it. You like that? You protect that. Okay?
This.
Anything you do, I know you break easily. You show me. It's a mission.
I believe.
Okay?
Thank you.
Eat. God bless. Be blessed.
God bless.
You break those two, no more money. No more. It's for science. Think of that as your family. Family protect you. Yeah. You too. All the best. Don't stop dying, Bitojoose. Finish all your projects. Here I am helping homeless people that don't want to change. It's like they're fearful, and then it's like, why do I have to work? Because I have to fucking work. Here's something. Take a screenshot of this, just in case you didn't before. Just but don't think of me. Think of America. Take a screenshot of this for later. I know all about fat banks and stuff. And then if somebody asks, why is this on your computer? What, you don't like calendars? That's my friend Nate Mendez's project. He's an art director, or trying to be. Okay, I assume all 5 of you? Yeah, please. I know. The only thing I can make is do like faces. Psych. Denied. The game is like you're trying to screenshot it and I said, nope. And since you're all in a screenshotting mood, screenshot these two. The only reason you would screenshot this is like, so you saw the pictures, all those. How about, what's your opinion about this? Got something to say now? You show it. Yeah. Then, it's just like, as a colleague in science, what do you think of my nose? Objectively, after this moment of clarity, you've made a terrible mistake. Find a way. From one thing, learn 10,000 things. If you have time, Bitojoose, before you head out, while in between pool sessions or whatever, pick up a copy of the Book of Five Rings, the cheapest one. It'll make you want to get the real one. No. No. I'ma do it. No, don't do it. I'll tell you, Noah, that's forbidden. I forbid you expressly to even just privately make her nose bigger. She'll be so happy. You did that for me for free? My loyal soldier. Holy moly. I think she heard me and she's here. Anyway, subway stuff. I'll see you all later. Bye.